So today we are revisiting Andrew Tate. I know I'm about to have yet another hot take for a lot of angry Manosphere fans, but whatever. I don't care. Leave a dislike, hate, comment, whatever. What we're looking into today is some pretty shady news. Remember that investigation that was launched into Andrew Tate back in June 2023? Let's keep in mind that this individual has been under investigation for over a year now for sex trafficking allegations, among other terrible things. Well, early morning, at least on my side of the globe, as of August 21st, 2024, Andrew Tate's compound was reportedly raided by Romania's law enforcement agency, DIICOT. So, let's talk about it. Here we have some images and videos of Andrew Tate's property being breached and raided by men in uniform, investigating allegations against Andrew Tate, such as human trafficking of minors and sex with a minor. From this four-house raid, Andrew and Tristan Tate, along with 6 others, were detained and brought to DIICOT's headquarters. Reuters reports that DIICOT had this to say in regards to their raid and escort. The investigation concerned a criminal case regarding the commission of the crimes of setting up an organized criminal group, trafficking of minors, human trafficking, sexual intercourse with a minor, influencing statements, and money laundering. Based on a lot of things Andrew Tate himself has said in the past, these claims aren't unrealistic. We've heard Andrew Tate claim and talk about having sex with 16-year-old girls. We've heard him say he exploits quote-unquote dumb women and takes their money for taxes and pretends that they're for taxes and then keeps the money for himself. We've heard him talk about how he exploits the corruption of Romania's legal system in other cases. However, amidst this, there was a lot of speculation, some very, very idiotic speculation from fans, supporters, and various other onlookers making the ludicrous claim that Andrew Tate is being silenced by Zionists or the Jews because Andrew Tate spoke out against them recently. That's some of the most insane and asinine reasoning I have ever heard. The investigation has been going on for a year now, way before the events of October 6th that sparked this new wave of worldwide concern for an Israeli-Palestinian conflict. DIICOT has been on their case since way before Andrew Tate had any anti-Israeli sentiment. Not to mention, the Tates were significantly aware that DIICOT was on their tail for a while now and has been building a case against them for a long time. We can even see this in Tristan Tate's tweet from January. In this tweet, Tristan says, "I have a 23-year-old friend. When she was 17, she had been at a party I had thrown and her dad saw photos and called the police to make her come home. This was 5 years ago. She had never been to my house and never stayed anywhere with me. No actions was taken, of course. I am still good friends with her and she was dragged into interviews 2 weeks ago by the police and told them nothing illegal has ever happened around me. For the half of a decade we have been friends. DIICOT are attempting to build a case and call this attempted trafficking of a minor. Why?" This is also corroborated by Andrew Tate when he retweeted Tristan's tweet from May 21st. This is what Andrew had to say. "The minor they are talking about is 24 years old, but because she first followed me years ago when she was 17, they say I intended to traffic her, even though I literally did nothing to her and we've been friends for years. Matrix attack." Tristan's tweet says, "Anybody heard about me trafficking a minor? Good. I would like the idiots trying to pull this trick to know that the 24-year-old woman involved thinks you're crooks and will go to the press if you indict me for this. She's ready and waiting. Fucking try me, you criminals." Now, I know what this sounds like. So they didn't do anything wrong. No, not exactly. Maybe Tristan didn't do anything illegal in that story, but he still did admit to having sex with a 17-year-old girl.
One of my main chicks has 200,000 Instagram followers, and I took her virginity when she was 17.
But furthermore, I'm only bringing this up to clarify that this wasn't some Jewish special operation to get a hit on Andrew and Tristan Tate. Andrew and Tristan Tate were aware that DIICOT has been building this case against them for quite some time now, with no regards to any Jewish agenda. Let's make that clear. The reason I say this is because some people are saying that there are new charges being invented, but that's simply just not the case. A lot of people are looking at this very uncritically and don't understand that just because these people were released once or twice, they are somehow innocent and are being dangerously mistreated. It's insane no matter how you look at it, unless you're absolutely delusional. So, let's talk about what actually resulted from this raid. The Tates were placed under house arrest for the next 30 days, more than likely to prevent any flight risks, but we also got a statement from DIICOT themselves. So let's take a look at what they said. So I did translate this from Romanian to English, and we all know that these translators aren't exactly the greatest at having direct translation, so let's ignore any potential grammatical mistakes that are here. Let's begin here. On 21/08/2024, the prosecutors of the Directorate of Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism, DIICOT, the central structure ordered the detention of 6 defendants for committing the crimes of forming an organized criminal group, trafficking in persons, trafficking in minors, sexual intercourse with a minor, money laundering, influencing statements, and favoring the perpetrator, which I assume means that they forced or coerced people to say things that favored the defense of Andrew Tate instead of actually talking about the truth. From the criminal investigation documents carried out, it emerged that during 2015, 3 defendants, 2 of them foreign citizens, constituted an organized criminal group on Romanian territory, to which a suspect, foreign citizen, joined in 2016, and in September 2021, another defendant, Romanian citizen, who acted with the aim of committing the crime of human trafficking, both on the territory of Romania and of other states. 2 of the defendants, using the loverboy method and taking advantage of the obvious state of vulnerability of 34 injured persons, recruited them, and with the support of other members of the organized crime group, transported and housed them in different locations where they were supervised and coordinated by forcing them to produce pornographic materials that they later broadcast for free on profile platforms. So this is very clearly just referring to the fact that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate got women to do these cam shows, as has been mentioned many times in the past. The proceeds thus obtained by the defendants from the sexual exploitation of the victims were valued at over $2.8 million and 887,000 tokens. It was also noted that in the period from 2014 to December 2021, one of the defendants, foreign citizen, by misleading the loverboy method and taking advantage of the obvious vulnerability of a minor victim, 17 years old, foreign citizen, transported and sheltered her in several locations located on the territories of Great Britain and Romania, where he forced her to perform sexual acts in order to produce pornographic materials and distribute them on various websites. From the criminal activity, material benefits valued at over $1.5 million were obtained, which the defendant fully appropriated. Also, in this charge, it was noted that starting from December 2020, he repeatedly maintained relations and sexual acts with a minor victim aged 15. This part right here in particular means that they are investigating the Tates for another minor, completely unrelated to the stories the Tates have been using all this time. So everything from before that Tristan said was just a smoke show, which means that DIICOT has been looking into other victims for quite some time now. So again, this is not any new charges. This is not some sort of Jewish psyop distraction. Also, if I may add something else, this wouldn't be the first time that one of the Tates had been implicated in something about having sex with a 15-year-old. Andrew Tate likes to say it himself.
You know, you said it looks like I'm in a teenage girl's bedroom.
Yeah.
To some people, that would be an insult, but to me, I find that quite flattering, to be honest. You know, like, that's exactly where you'd expect to find.
I'm fucking all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women, whatever the law is in America. 18?
It's 18 usually.
In order to hide or dissimulate the illicit origin of the money resulting from the commission of the crime of human trafficking between December 2023 and July 2024, the 2 defendants purchased and registered 4 luxury cars in the name of close people. At the same time, in an attempt to prevent the discovery of the truth, they took actions of an obviously intimidating nature and acts of corruption on some injured persons and witnesses in order to induce them not to give statements or give false statements in this file. So it looks like my assumption from earlier was correct. With regard to 2 other defendants, Romanian citizens, from the investigations carried out, it emerged that they acted with the aim of hindering the investigation in this criminal case. As a result of the home searches, the sums of approximately 26,000 euros, 81,000 lei, 5.8 thousand GBP, and 6.4 thousand USD, 2 luxury watches, laptops, data storage units, documents, and other evidence were identified and seized. An insurance seizure was instituted on 16 cars and a motorcycle, all from the luxury category. Today, the Judge of Rights and Liberties was notified with a proposal of preventative arrest of 3 of the detained defendants and the house arrest of another defendant, presumably Andrew Tate. Judicial activities are carried out together with police officers from the ILFOV Organized Crime Fighting Service. The action benefited from the support of gendarmes from the Special Intervention Brigade of the Gendarmerie. Specialist support was provided by the Technical and Forensic Service with DIICOT Central Structure and the Directorate of Special Operations of the Romanian Police. We make it clear that during the entire criminal process, the investigated persons benefit from the procedural rights and guarantees provided by the Code of Criminal Procedure, as well as the presumption of innocence. Basically, they are presumed innocent until proven guilty, obviously. And here we have images taken of the compound, as well as images of their cars and other property that they own. So, to be clear, Andrew and Tristan Tate are not in the clear. They are still very much being investigated for potentially very real crimes, particularly organized crime, sex trafficking, and exploitation of a minor. There's a lot of information that sort of corroborates the claims in the press release directly from Andrew and Tristan Tate as well. This isn't some Jewish special operation. These guys are getting new charges because after investigations, they have reason to believe that the Tates have coerced or manipulated witnesses to favor them rather than to speak without embellishments or dishonesty. There's a lot of things to go through here. Something that really bugs me about all of this is how much of a pass the Tates get from a large sum of people, all because the Tates use convenient excuses and stories that makes it seem as if they're being erroneously investigated for something only slightly questionable. Andrew Tate is like, this person followed me and they assume I intended to traffic her, she was 17, when in reality, once you start reading into what DIICOT is alleging, they're actually alleging Tate trafficked other women and profited from them by using them in pornographic operations and are being charged for having sex with a 15-year-old, which is still illegal in Romania, by the way. Not to mention the fact that Andrew Tate has alluded to these things and has even admitted to some of these things in multiple cases as well. Unfortunately, though, a lot of people will believe these bullshit excuses because people are incapable of actually reading into and understanding the details and layers of these things. So, shout out to Willie Mack and Murder by Crayons for compiling a fuck ton of information. I personally did my own research, so if I got anything wrong, you can 1000% blame only me for it. This story is very deep and has a fuck ton of layers, which is why I only focus on the specific things that relate to this story. However, if you are on the fence for whatever reason, I encourage you guys to watch Willie Mack's coverage and follow Murdered by Crayons on Twitter to get an easy to digest stream of information on all of this. Feel free to correct anything I may have misunderstood or missed. I will make sure to correct the record. That's all I got for today. Later.